Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We're going to start with the Wyatt folder because we've had a couple of posts, one from Nikki Cross, one from Joe Gacy. I don't know that they're connected. They don't feel connected, but we're just going to touch on them, right? Also, I don't think there's anything massive in them, right? So we won't spend long on this. We'll get to the WWE news. This is a card that is being burned by Joe Gacy, and great work by Metal Mama. She has found out what that card actually is. It's actually a card. It's a recipe card. It's called Old Scratch. And on the other side, you've got like a recipe for a drink, right? Metal Mama has like really dug into this, looked into it all. She's thinking that it could symbolize Gacy opening the door to madness, forcing him or anyone who accepts to confront the chaos that is lurking behind. So if you want to read like the really detailed breakdown, I would say go to Metal Mama's account. I have another theory, and my theory is that because the song is Me and the Devil, I'm wondering if this is Joe Gacy showing that he is not scared of the devil. This card has got the devil on it. It symbolizes the devil as a result. The song is Me and the Devil, and he's burning it. He's openly burning it. He is openly like destroying it and sending a message to Karrion Kross that your mind games won't work on me because I'm not even scared or afraid of the devil himself. And so I wonder if it's something like that. Again, I go back to what I said before. I don't think there's any massive message being sent here. I don't think this is going to unlock a whole new storyline or anything. I just think it's a post that Gacy has put out on a Sunday afternoon, right? So there are a few other thoughts if we unwhoosh. So here we've got Rave saying Old Scratch was the nickname for the devil, maybe somewhat as a response to the Karrion Kross quote, the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Here we got Kelly the Wise Lady. She said, I don't know if you've seen this, I'm sure you have. I'm thinking that he's saying he's sending the devil back to hell. And Rave said, I noticed as well about the song Me and the Devil, which I do think is a very interesting and deliberate song choice. So that was the Joe Gacy thing. Then we got this from Nikki Cross, right? Now, I got tagged in this quite a bit. And so big thank you to everyone that tagged me in this. Really appreciate it, of course. There's one thing that jumps out to me, and of course it is the play at the top and the fact that it's like grainy. I mean, it's video quality. Anything that's going to be like VHS, old videotape quality, immediately makes me think it might feature on Raw because we know that they've been hand delivering those interview tapes in the past. And so we've seen VHS tapes, videotapes being used. So my first thought is this is going to be something that will feature in a videotape. Where is this location? Why have they chose this location? I haven't seen any theories on that, apart from one, right? And it's this from Ads. Ads says, no, that place is Scarlett in France, which is really interesting. I can't find Scarlett in France. I can find hotels that are called Scarlett, and places, shops and whatever. I can't find a town or anywhere called Scarlett. So I can't confirm this, but it doesn't really matter because I still like the theory. Even if it's not Scarlett in France, what if it's Scarlett somewhere else? What if the place is named after someone that's, you know, what if the place is Carrion in Austria, right? I mean, the point is, what if the place is named after someone that's in Final Testament and it is really sending a message to that person? Once we figure out where this place is, we might know who this message is for. And it would make sense for Nikki Cross to send a message to Scarlett. They are the two women in each faction, right? And so obviously they've been fighting when we've been getting that big brawl. So it would make sense for Nikki Cross to send Scarlett a message. And so what if this place is Scarlett and that's how she's going about doing it? So Ads maybe onto something here. I can't confirm it, but it's the best theory. I think it's the only theory that I've seen so far. So there we go. That was the Wyatt's folder. Lots of good stuff in there, but we're going to go to WWE. This dropped 37 minutes ago from Fadeaway Media, right? Finn Balor has cut Liv and Dominik off of a Judgment Day post. I don't know that he's cut them off. I think this is maybe from a house show. I don't know if this is a live event, but yeah, they're not there. This is from Milwaukee and Wisconsin. I don't know that they were like out of shot. I feel like they wouldn't be. But it's interesting that he's chosen this image that they are not in. And he's also commented the Judgment Day. No mention of Liv and Dominik. No mention of them whatsoever. So I do agree that this is a very interesting post for him to kind of put out there. So, and Fade kind of making his thoughts clear that this is very intentional. And obviously we know there's lots of drama between Finn and Dominik, so it would make sense. It would further that. Tama Tonga has acknowledged a post that was theorizing that The Rock is leading the new Bloodline. So we spoke about this. I really think this is a joke post from Fadeaway Media. So basically The Rock did this gesture ages ago, and we saw Tama Tonga doing the same gesture, but as I pointed out yesterday, this gesture is like an international gesture. It's a little bit like someone giving a thumbs up. Like, for me, that connection is so loose that there's just nothing there. It's a reach for me. So it's not a theory that I am on board with. Tama Tonga just kind of stirring the pot a little bit, just doing his like shh catchphrase, right? So he's just seen it and he's responded to it, and then of course that means all the news outlets can now post this, and if all the news outlets are posting this, it's probably going to end up in Unseen because it's going to be a talking point again. Blah 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 blah. You can see how the media world works, right? So I still don't think there's anything in this, but I wanted to give you the latest. Right, Sportskeeda says Bayley reveals she was truly surprised by the announcement of the women's US title. No one knew that it was happening. In a way, it was really cool to be surprised. And I was just happy that I was in front of a monitor when it happened. I was in the middle of a meeting with one of my bosses, and it just popped up. I heard Nick Aldis talk about the women, and I was like, whoa, hold on. Please, can we just watch this real quick? I'm so happy that I caught it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been around a monitor because there's so much going on. Bayley genuinely not knowing, which is really weird. Don't they have meetings? how like they all meet up like before the show starts? Like, why wouldn't they tell them that there's going to be a tournament and there's going to be a mid-card title coming in? I mean, maybe if they want to capture their reactions, you know, but it doesn't sound like Bayley was even on camera at this point. I could understand WWE going, don't tell the girls. What we'll do is we'll get some cameras and we'll capture their live reaction backstage as we make this historic announcement. But it doesn't even, it sounds like Bayley was in a meeting and there wasn't even a camera around. So I'm very confused as to why they didn't tell the women this was happening, but there we go. Right, a couple of quotes from Cody. He was on Adrian Hernandez's YouTube. Cody hints at The Rock's return, right? I know when he comes back, and I know who he'll come looking for, and I know what to expect. So Cody apparently knows when The Rock's back, knows who he's coming for, and he knows what to expect. I think Cody is teasing there that The Rock is coming for him, right? Because last time we saw them, they made it very clear that they're on a collision course. So it wouldn't really make sense for The Rock to come back for anyone else. I don't think he's teasing that he's coming back for Roman. So, you know, I think that they're teasing, or I think he's saying basically, I know he's coming for me. That's how I interpret that. When it's happening, though. Well, I think we see him at the end of Survivor Series, but gonna have to wait and see, aren't we? Jang Tae-sang said, I'm hyped. Cody Rhodes on WrestleMania 41. Keep the rumors going. Keep them churning. Enjoy the discourse. What you'll get at WrestleMania 41 will surprise you all. So, I don't know. A few people are saying he's really setting himself up here, because if it doesn't surprise people, then he's going to look a little bit stupid, isn't he? He's going to look a bit silly. So, I don't know. I think there's so many theories out there, it's hard to see how it can surprise us now. So now, of course, you're starting to go to things like, could it be Cody against John Cena? I mean, Cody against Randy, I've seen mentions, and we expect Randy to turn. I don't expect it for WrestleMania. So, you know, if we get that, yeah, I suppose that would be a surprise. Everyone's expecting it to be Cody Rock. Obviously, Cody Rock Roman has also been spoken about. So if it's either of those, that's not a surprise. I would say anything outside of those two matches would be a surprise. If we do get Cody against Cena, that would be a surprise. If we get Cody against Randy, I expect that match next year, but I don't expect it for WrestleMania. So I'll agree that would be a surprise. But it has got people thinking along those lines now. Right, here we go. We've got a Raw folder because for some reason WWE are just churning out loads of previews for Raw, right? It's probably because the show's taped, so we definitely know what matches we're getting, right? So here we've got Big Bronson Reed taking on Seth. Big Bronson Reed said, I'm going to whoop his ass. Should be a good match. Here, look, we've got Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker defends against Sheamus tomorrow. He's enrolled in Banger U. So there we go. We've got Bron Breakker. We've got Sheamus in action. Here we have got Carlito. And we've got Dominik taking on the War Raiders. And here we've got Zelina and Ray taking on Chad and Ivy. So, Billy, thank you, my friends. So, yeah, obviously the spoilers out there. I actually don't know the results of any of the matches. I've managed to avoid those. I do know of 2 spoilers, but they're not connected to match results. And as I said the other day, I actually don't know anything about the Wyatt 6. So I don't know anything about them. I don't know if we're getting a segment. I don't know if we're getting like a video package. So I am still actually looking forward to Raw. I am disappointed that I found out about 2 pretty major spoilers. What I would say is if you haven't seen any spoilers for Raw, I think it's definitely going to be a show worth watching. Definitely a show worth watching. I know of 2 things that are talking points, and there could be more. And the matches look all right as well. So obviously we'll be back later with our Raw watch along. We're always live for Raw, NXT, SmackDown, and we always start well before the shows. We start 2 hours before Raw so that we can get stuck into whatever news there has been, and hopefully there'll be a bit more news throughout Monday. So that was Raw. Let's go down NXT, shall we? So, big announcements. These are the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches on Tuesday. We've got Stephanie Vaquer taking on Jaida Parker. How are both of these women not going to be in that match? Like, these 2 should absolutely be in that women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. So I'm shocked they're making them go up against each other. What a banger that's going to be, though. Really excited for this. Really excited. Then we've got Wren Sinclair against Zaria. That'll be a good match. That'll be good. We haven't seen much of Zaria. I've seen enough of Wren to know that she is a very good talent. Obviously, Zaria, much hyped, but we haven't seen much of her. She hasn't really been in that long. But, yeah, this will be good, but I'm more excited for this one, to be honest. And then we have got Nathan Frazier and Eddie Thorpe going 1-on-1 in another Iron Survivor Challenge match. As well as that, we've got Andre Chase and Ridge. They are facing off. The winner gets a shot at the NXT Championship. If Andre Chase loses, Chase U must disband for good. And obviously, yesterday we saw Andre Chase asking the crowd, pleading with the crowd, please wear Chase U shirts. I want it to be like a home game. And we were saying, really, WWE should supply them for the crowd. But yeah, Duke Hudson said, I wish I had high hopes. Duke Hudson, who's in Chase U, does not seem to have very high hopes that Andre Chase can get this win. And if he doesn't, Chase U have got to disband. So, yeah, Tuesday looks like it's going to be a tasty episode of NXT. Let's go over here, shall we? So, just announced Zoe Sager has become the first Canadian talent to receive a WWE ID contract at tonight's Northern Crown event. So, I don't know if we can see what she looks like, to be honest. I mean, can't really make too much out, but there she is getting a round of applause because she is the first Canadian talent to receive a WWE ID contract. They've handed out loads of these things, haven't they? So, Del Boy, thank you. Loads of those things. Right, I've got a Sami folder, and I really don't know why we've got a Sami folder. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. Let's whoosh this over. I didn't want that one. I wanted this one. So here, look. So I had this sent to me. So Brainbuster said, Days, I checked the Sami segment. It looks pretty obvious that it was just a TV remote. My guess is Sami is who turned the TV on before the segment, and then he put it in his pocket when the camera started rolling. Thought his hands were off screen the moment he took it out. So Brainbuster has sent this image, right? And if I can go full screen so you can see it better. Hard to get it. I'm trying to get it as big as I can, really, so that you can see, but you can sort of see that, yeah, I can see that feels like it is quite TV remote shaped, right? It looks, I can see that looks a bit more TV remote than phone. Obviously, it's hard to tell because of the perspective. You know, it might be a phone, but it's just sort of angled a bit too much that way, so it looks really thin. But, and plus also, I can't see any buttons really on top for a TV remote, but it could be the other side, couldn't it? So it's still not conclusive, let's put it that way. I don't look at that and go, yeah, TV remote. But I can certainly see why people have got that impression that that is what it is, right? So if I go bigger here and whoosh it over. So this is the best image that I've seen of it, but it does look more like a TV remote here, to be honest. If it is still not 100%, right, as I've said, for the reasons I've said, then why did he have it in his pocket? I mean, I understand it might be like, oh, Sami, turn the TV on, we're about to go live, and he's done it, and he's gone, and he's put it in his pocket, right? So I can sort of come up with a reason why he's done that, right? But more to the point, why did he feel the need to sneakily remove it from his pocket during the broadcast? If he's put it in his pocket, and they're filming this segment, why did he suddenly get the need to be like, oh, I'm going to take it out now, and like be really sneaky about it and then just throw it on the... Why did he need to do that whilst it was... Because if anything, if he's handling it, is he not running more of a risk of accidentally turning the TV off? I mean, if we've got a segment where we're watching Solo come into the ring and I know I've got the remote in my pocket, I am doing whatever I can to not disrupt that, because I know if I do touch it, or I might accidentally turn the TV off. And how are you going to deal with that in a live segment, in a live environment, right? What's he going to be like? Oh, sorry, guys, my bad. Let me just pop the power back. So why is he messing with it? So I can sort of find a reason why he's put it in his pocket. Panic, like, oh, we're going live. But why, during the recording, would he then take it out and throw it and run the risk of turning the TV off? I'm struggling with it. I've got here, look, someone make this all make sense. Someone please make this make sense. Struggling with it. I'm really struggling with it. I'm struggling with it being something that is significant, because, you know, we've spoke about it at length. If it's Heyman's, if he's got Roman's phone, then how did Roman not know that what he was using wasn't his phone, right? If he's got Heyman's phone, why would he then throw it on the couch? You know, if he's got something he shouldn't have, or why did he then throw it on the couch? There's not much that I can think of that explains why he did what he did. The one that kind of fits best to me is that it's in his pocket. He can feel it vibrating, and he doesn't want it to like disrupt the broadcast. So he gets it out and he just kind of chucks it to one side, hoping that the camera doesn't see, you know. The other one that kind of works is that they were about to go to the ring, and so they saw that Solo and everyone was heading to the ring, so he was like, right, go time. And so he took his phone out of his pocket and chucked it on the sofa. And it doesn't mean anything more than that, because I just can't get anything to fit. But this is probably one of the most interesting ones that I've had sent following the Unseen episode yesterday, right? It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see if everyone's going to be looking at Sami next time we see Sami. Next time we see Sami, everyone's going to be looking at his hands, looking to see what he's doing. Sami, any little gestures he does now are going to be super, super read into. So just be prepared for that, right? So that was the Sami folder. I'm glad we didn't miss this folder, you know, because I kind of thought for a second I'd made a mistake. And I was like, Sami folder? I don't remember a Sami folder. But I hadn't made a mistake, so very good. Right, here we go then. Fun folder. So here is some boomer asking some other boomers who their favourite wrestler is. And this boomer, to start off the video, to kick things off, hasn't even flipping got one, right?
I don't got the favourite one. I got Balor. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Why would you start a video off with someone going, ain't got a favourite one? that doesn't draw me into the video, right?
All time or today? All time, Scott Hall. Right now, I say Jacob Fatu. Maybe like Randy Orton or Rob Van Dam, or I like High Flyers.
Shawn Michaels. John Cena, my honorable mention though.
Hey.
Shawn Michaels.
I gotta say 3. The Rock, Stone Cold, and Eddie Guerrero.
Stone Cold.
Shawn Michaels.
I don't got.
That dude said, I like Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. I like high flyers. I mean, that's going to be a big shock to Randy Orton to be put in a high flyers category, right? We all know Randy Orton's aerial attacks. The world famous Randy Orton aerial attacks. So, yeah. But there we go. I thought some of you out there might enjoy hearing from some of your favourite hippity-hoppity stars. So I included that for you. I certainly did not include it for me. But I did include this for me because Sammy put this out 3 hours ago. Amazing. Amazing. Little bit hidden. Needs to be a bit more over, but looks good. Amazing. Hello! Hello! My name's Barry. Oh my God, look at him. Do you like eggs? Oh, mate. I saw this. I think it's meant to be an image of... I think it's meant to be an image of the Bloodline, like, being united, coming back together. He has done him so dirty, man. He has done him so dirty. I haven't even seen the comments to this. But oh my God, I flipping loved it. Right, here we go. This is Bianca surprising a couple of young fans. I didn't quite understand this because... they don't seem bothered when they first see her, but then later they're obviously upset. Let's have a look.
My little
So here she is. Look, she comes out there. I don't think that they know she's there. I don't think they know she's there at this moment. So she's dancing with them, and they just seem to be just dancing away. They don't seem to be that bothered at all. So I got the impression she had surprised them in this moment. But here we go. This is what you want to see. Ah.
That was so much fun.
She's still not bothered. She is.
They've been the stars of this show.
Oh my goodness, my little heart is beating so fast.
Ah, that's lovely, isn't it? That is lovely. Right, look at this. Why not? Here we go. Oh. Jeffrey from Toys R Us in his pants. Yeah. Jeffrey in his pants. Let's go, man. I didn't even see that at the end. Look at the crowd going absolutely bananas. Well, which makes sense, doesn't it? Boom! There we go. Hey, Toys R Us are down, but they'll be back. They'll be back. Look at this, man. Anyone else a bit freaked out by this? Jello Man said, now someone needs to make one of Wrestling Days. This person has made... a life-size Miss Elizabeth LJN. LJN were the action figures. I say action. There was no flipping action to them. They were just these big lumps of rubber in the 1980s, right? But someone's made a life-size one of Miss Elizabeth. You could get this, like, it was about that big, right? And that's what the figures were like in the 80s, and that's what someone's made a life-size one. Imagine if you're married to this person... and you come back and they introduce you to... It's weird, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Had they have made, like, Hogan or Bruno Sammartino or Andre the Giant, then I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But they decided to go with Miss Elizabeth as the one they wanted to make. Don't know. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even know how you would make this. It's incredible. It looks just like it as well. They've done an incredible job. But they are definitely perverts. They are definitely perverts. So that was that. And then we got this. So, Daniel, thank you. I don't think I've ever seen this clip, you know. So this is from a live event. It's going to be a long time ago. This is the kind of fun you can have at live events, right? So here, look, Big Show's down. The 2 referees, they're going to try and get Big Show up. But of course, you need 22 referees to get Big Show up. 2 referees ain't going to do this. So they're trying and they're trying. And the crowd are entertained at them trying. And then all of a sudden, they have a little bit of an idea. Like, listen, he's down. We can't move him. How about... I pin him, you count, and I could have a win over Big Show. And he's like, okay, yeah, you go down, I'll do it. 1, 2, he kicks out, they run away. Yes! Look at this. Like naughty school children. Big Show immediately up, look. They're on the outside. I think it might have been JoJo on commentary there, you know, on announcing. Looked like JoJo. Bray Wyatt's wife. And they scarp her off. So I thought that was a really, really fun clip. Just a really fun clip from a live event. That's the kind of fun that you wouldn't really get on TV. But they do those kind of moments at live events. So house shows. So very good. Very good. Okay, let's go other, shall we? Josh Alexander, TNA star, said that he's wrapping up his independent dates because he might be doing some special things. A couple of people wondering, does this mean he's WWE bound? I don't know, it could mean so many different things. But, yeah, just something interesting, something to keep an eye on. I thought I'd include this here because, look at this. Do you want to see Jackie Redmond compete inside the squared circle? I don't think anyone does. And if it was against Kathy Kelly, then yes. But no one wants to see someone that's not a wrestler trying to compete against a wrestler, right? So, against Kathy Kelly, against, I don't know, who else we got? What are the females? Lillian Garcia, right? Megan Morant, Sarah Schreiber, yeah? Against one of those, if we started some beef, yeah, no problem. But maybe you could do her and Punk against Sarah Schreiber and Drew McIntyre, something like that, I don't know. So, Jackie Redmond believes CM Punk can help her make a WWE in-ring debut. Right, here's Jackie Redmond. That's not at all what I said, lol. I said if anyone can get a hockey player in the ring, it would be CM Punk. I have absolutely zero desire to wrestle. So, it's just awful, innit? Aren't wrestling news sites just the absolute worst? They just try and take any little crumb. I mean, I don't even know how they've got this one this bad, like messed up. How does she say that like CM Punk could get a hockey player in the ring, and then it somehow gets translated to she wants to get in the ring? I don't even know how this happens. I don't even know how that happens. So again, you know, who can you trust out there in the wrestling news world? But it's good to see this getting debunked. I've said 3 strikes, you're done. If it can be proven that you've lied 3 times, maybe we should start shutting down accounts. That would soon clean up all this fake wrestling news, wouldn't it? That would soon get rid of it, so. Right, Undertaker said if he could have a draft pick if he was starting a wrestling company, who would it be? Right, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I don't know, this is strong enough, really. In my head, I was like, if he says John Cena, Randy Orton, Stone Cold, Rock, Roman Reigns, if he says one of those 5, I'm not going to include it. If it's someone outside of those 5, I'll include it. Well, it's included, so it's not one of those 5, right? So that's why I included it. So who did The Undertaker come up with then? Not Stone Cold, it's not Roman, it's not Randy, it's not The Rock, right? It's not Hulk Hogan, right? It's not himself. He said the first pick that he would have if he was starting a wrestling company, Kane. He said he would go Kane. He really put Kane over. He said he was a great worker. He knew his character. He was given advice backstage as a gentleman. He would always do whatever you asked of him. Like, he was never trouble. And he was like, before I have like the Stone Colds and everything, I'd want Kane in my company. So I probably should have guessed Kane, to be honest. But I thought it was still a good answer, in all fairness. It's not one of the 5 that I first thought. So there we go. Hey, this is pretty cool. There is Mercedes Moné. There is Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell teaming up with Mercedes to do a little bit of training. And yeah, really good. I bet that was a really good day. So who knows what opportunities there'll be for Indy. It would be great to see her go to AEW and, you know, find a feat. I do like Indy. So wishing her all the very best there, but very good. Yeah, oh my god, so I looked into this. It looks like it's roughly right? Bayley made history on SmackDown. So her win on SmackDown was her 684th win. She's now tied with Natalya for the most wins in WWE. And I went to Cage Match, right? Bayley's first match win in WWE is right at the start of 2013. So as long as all of her wins since 2013 have been in WWE, because I don't know that she went to any other indie shows or, you know, did anything with Shimmer or anything like that. I think she's just been in WWE since 2013. As long as all of those arcs, I didn't get a chance to go through them all. We're talking 680 odds, right? As long as they are all within WWE since 2013, she does have 684 wins since the start of 2013. So this would be correct. I just can't confirm that, but I'm guessing this person has. So I did look into it because it's one of those where you go, really? She's now tied Natalya. But yeah. Yeah, this was interesting. I didn't know this. Vince McMahon ordered Roman Reigns to wear blue contact lenses in order for him to get over with the crowd because he thought his eyes weren't marketable enough. So these are quite interesting, these Did You Know from WrestleMania. So T4H Dart. I can't see the flipping difference, to be honest. I can't see the difference between the eyes. So, I mean, I'm guessing that they've looked into it and this is something that they know as a fact. So, there we go. And this was good. I wanted to show you this because I thought this was quite interesting. So, if we go over to the Instagram, hopefully this lines up. Boom, boom. Oh, that's worked really well. Here we go.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hey, real quick, if you go on social media and say some dumb to me and get blocked for it, and it happens every day, you can't come back later and say, I was only saying that to you in kayfabe. 1, if you're using that word, it doesn't exist. And 2, even if it did, you have not earned the right. And if that makes you mad, good. Have a great weekend.
I think he's probably had a bit of a bad experience there. This was Friday, apparently, that he recorded this. I mean, look, he's old school, right? I think the rules are ever evolving, ever changing. He's old school, but I do like that mentality of kayfabe was there to protect the business. They didn't want you to know that wrestling was predetermined. And so they did everything they could to hide that from the public, you know, and they would use terms that the public wouldn't understand. Face, heel, right? These are kind of things that we didn't know what they meant. To us, it was a good guy and a bad guy. What's a face? What's a baby face? What's a heel? Kayfabe. What's that? Right? So these were insider terms. The fact that we now know of these terms, you know, he basically says if you know what kayfabe is, then it doesn't exist, does it? You know, it's a term that is designed to kind of pull the wool over your eyes. You know, that's what we were doing. We were sort of lying to you, really. We weren't telling you the full truth, you know? And now that you know about kayfabe, then it doesn't really exist anymore. You know the truth now. So I do kind of agree with him on that. I do think that wrestling's evolving, though, right? It's ever changing. The other one where he said if that's you haven't earned the right to use that words. Again, it's ever evolving, ever changing, isn't it? I mean, WWE themselves are showing us behind the scenes. So I kind of feel like WWE are letting us see behind the scenes. They're showing us these behind the scenes documentaries. You know, we're hearing interviews where this word is being used. So, you know, is it unfair that this generation now use that words? So him saying, like, you've not earned the right to use it. Again, it's an old school mentality. I don't disagree with him. But I do think it's an old school mentality, and I do think those rules are evolving and changing. But I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very clearly someone's upset him as well. Wasn't me, so that's all I care about. So there we go. Right, let's go into thanks, shall we, and send this baby home. So, Word of Wrestling, thank you. Casper, appreciate the retweet. Rave, thank you, buds. Appreciate the retweets. Kelly the Wise Lady tagged me in the Jackie Redmond story. Just another example of fake news, twisting words of what someone has said. Mattel, thank you. Person that introduced me to that Bayley achievement. Jang Tae Sang, thank you, my friends. Kelly the Wise Lady, thank you for the retweets. TJF1983, thank you, my friend. Appreciate the retweet. Michael, shout out to you, buds. Thank you for the retweet. Sweet Chin Wrestling as well. Appreciate the retweet also. But same with Word of Wrestling. with Word of Wrestling's homemade graphic. Appreciate the support. Edward, thank you for the retweet, buds. Really appreciate it. OTC as well. Appreciate the retweet, dude. And Jang Tae-sang as well. Appreciate the retweet. So a big thank you to all of those. And as I said, everyone that tagged me in the Nikki Cross one as well. I had loads. I knew that if I added all them as well, we'd be here for another 10 minutes or so. So yeah, really appreciate it. Hope you had a good weekend. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.